What up guys, this is my second calisthenics vlog and we're going to talk about one question. How often should you actually max out? Meaning like take a break from the whole routine thing and then just have a day where you completely max out, see how many push-ups you can do in total or pull-ups and so on. So for me, I've been doing the calisthenics movement program for over like 1.5 years. And then I've done the level 4 and 5 program. And what I noticed about those programs is essentially what they do is you have 1 week where you test all your maxes, the highest amount you can reach for reps. And then you have 3 weeks where you just train those things, where you do like 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets of that exercise of varying numbers, usually around 80% of what your max is. And then you go back to doing your maxes again. It's called a test week. So test week for 1 week, 3 weeks of training, another test week, and 3 weeks again. So keep doing that over and over again, essentially. So that is the question for this video that I wanted to answer. For me, now that we're gonna get into the program that I talked about last time, if you guys want to check that out, it's essentially just my training organizer that I created recently. And basically 2 weeks have passed. So the last time I worked on stuff was a maxing out week, and that's why I mentioned it. So as you can see, I decided to just put it on goals, the column, and I highlighted it blue where my most recent max is. Essentially I have an all-time max where stats and strategy are. My all-time max sometimes is higher than what my current max is, unfortunately, so I'm trying to get back to that. But for now, the new ones are highlighted in blue, and you can see push-ups, that's 30 out of 50. I haven't really been doing regular push-ups very often, so I kind of decreased quite a lot, but I'm getting back up. And then Bulgarian dips, 8 out of 10. That's definitely the most I've ever done. And then pull-ups, as you can see, my all-time max was 15 before, and my all-time max right now, or not all-time max, but my max right now is 13. And then after maxing out that week, as you can see, all the sets were about like 1, but there are some things where I just like, okay, you know, like I do this exercise in a way where I am almost always maxing out. So I should probably just continue it that way. But some exercises are not like that. So yeah, let's talk about the top 4 skill exercises just to be more specific. For these ones, I don't really care about maxing out because there are exercises where I feel like if I stop training them for a week, I will lose progress. So I just continue to do them like in a sort of max out form already. Like for instance, handstands, I just try my best to do the longest handstand I can. For 2 weeks ago, it's 4 sets. And then you can see the max amount. It wasn't very high, 34 seconds. And then this week, or the closer week, 37 seconds was my highest. Handstands definitely fluctuating. I need to probably get back on the wall a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. And then planche for tuck. I feel like I'm stagnating with planche. Like I'm doing it very similarly and just holding it as long as I can for the tuck planche. And it's not that great. I mean, my average is increasing barely. My average barely increased by like 1 second. So that's not very good. What I wanna do for planche is probably try to do more than 1 each day, 1 set each day. So I'll try for 2 each day this week and see where that takes me. My goal is to get to advanced tuck planche. I've been stuck on regular tuck planche for a long time, and it's pretty obvious, but like holding it once a day doesn't really help that much. So I will change it up. And then splits, I've been a little lax with splits, to be honest. I still need to get back on it. Right now I'm on a different routine, and it's hard to adapt to a different routine when you've been on the same one for a very, very long time. So I'm just gonna leave it at that since I haven't really made too much progress with splits. I'll probably talk about it quite a lot once I do make some progress. I still have my front splits. Side splits is the one I'm really working on. And then cheat gainer, last week, I did get back into doing it like a lot better. Instead of just doing a J step, like I was starting to spot my landing for a cheat gainer, if you guys know how gainer works. But essentially in this stage, I'm just doing with a different like startup, different setup in the beginning where you J step into a B kick essentially. So that's my progress with cheat gainer. I didn't do any this week just because like that 2-year break of not doing any tricking and then doing it again, it definitely, my body felt it and I needed some rest after that. So I will get back into it this week. All right, so let's talk about like all the other stuff. For this week, the closest week, I definitely made good amount of progress with reach and break. My average increased overall, and my total amount of reps for this week was higher than 2 weeks ago. So I'm happy with that. And I'm mainly happiest with pull-ups, I'd say. Like doing 8 sets last week with 12 reps pretty much every single time. that was very difficult to do mentally too, because it's like every time you have to do a set, like it has to be this amount if you want to keep your average high. So in order to reach the break goal. So it's definitely a challenge if you're gonna try it. But I think like it's making me a lot stronger faster, because what I used to do with the program was just do about like 8 pull-ups all the time, each time. Of course, it was closer to each other. Like I only had like 3 minutes rests versus like spreading it out over the week. But I still think I like this method better for some reason. It's closer to like Grease the Groove, which I can get into more later. But for now, this is one notable thing out of the other skills that I'm working on. And I will say pistol squats was another thing. So even during my maxing out week, I did 7 pistol squats, but then for some reason this week did a set of 8, which is higher than my max, which is very strange. So it kind of brings into question again, like how useful is maxing out, right? Because for pistol squats, essentially what I'm doing is maxing out every single time I do a set. So, and same with pull-ups. So it's kind of strange, but I do think maxing out has a place in having a week to just have a test week of maxing out. Still has a place in letting you rest as well. So the resting aspect of it is important, even if you're not fully, even if usually you just max out anyways, it's still good to take that test week to take a break as well and let your body recover. So that is sort of my belief in a test week, even if just maxing out all the time anyways. All right, so single leg glute raises, that's an exercise that pretty much have met my goal with, but I think I'll just continue to have the break, my average, increase until I reach that goal. I think that's what I want to do for most of the goals, is not just have like a max amount that I can do, but have my average essentially reach that. So this goal is more so for my average versus my max. And that shouldn't be an issue for like pistol squats and pull-ups, because that's how it is. All right, that is pretty much it. Jump roping was fun. Like I'm doing it way more now. I feel more comfortable with it. I think I reached an all-time max recently, actually. Yeah, 2 days ago, apparently. So 75 seconds of jump rope without messing up, essentially. So just continuously doing it without having the rope caught on my feet or slapping my feet where it hurts. Did that quite often. I don't really jump rope much until 3 weeks ago. So 75 seconds is obviously not very long, but it was fun to do. And that's pretty much it. That was my 2-week progress, and let me know what you guys are up to, what you guys are training, and how it's going. For the next 2 weeks for myself, I plan on essentially just really upgrading the focus skills like planche, handstands, splits, and cheek gainer. Those are like, even if I were to keep everything else the same, like I didn't reach the reach or break goals, but just sort of kept them around the same numbers, I'd be okay with that as long as I made progress with like the more focused skills that I want. So that's my, like what I'm going to do for the next 2 weeks. And the whole purpose behind this, me doing this, is to like evaluate how I'm doing and then change it up based on that, because there's always a way to improve whatever you're doing at the moment. That's like my philosophy. And by doing this, by looking at what I did previously, I can inform my future. And hopefully by me doing this, like it can help inform some of your decisions, or if you're doing like something similar or using this training organizer, because you guys can check it out down below. It's totally free. It's just a template, so you can fill in like whatever exercises you want. But yeah, hopefully you guys are getting something out of this. Man, I'm pretty bad with outros. Anyways, good luck with your training. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.